Yo, what's up, y'all? We out here with the Buff Missionary once again. Just took a nap, so I'm a little bit drowsy. Got to get the blood flowing, and I'm gonna do that by a little handstand routine. This one is one I learned in my first go round on the gymnastics team down at my first university back in 2015, and it's a quick 11-minute routine. Concept is simple: 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, and you just alternate back and forth. And the goal is, as you go through this, you're gonna build the strength enough to hold a freestanding handstand for up to 1 minute in total. So let's get started. We'll talk about it as we go on. Once again, using my favorite app here for working out, Workouts Plus. Stretched a little bit earlier, so let's get it. Whew. Not gonna lie, it's the first one of those I've held all the way through in a while. So we out here. And I'm actually resting for a minute and a half just to get into it. If you're really pressed for time, rest for a minute and then go back up. But I'm using a little bit longer rest so I can stay up a little bit longer in the handstand. Just get more time under tension in my shoulders. Now, I'm not the best at handstands. Be the first one to admit that. I can hold it freestanding for maybe 30, 40 seconds right now. But the main idea that you want to focus on in your handstand is really stacking your body. So shoulders in line with your palms and your hips. That's the hardest part. Getting your hips straight in line with your shoulders and your hands as well. That's the key. Anything that's not really in straight line, it's going to be a lot more floppy. You want to avoid that. But the reality is, once you build the strength in your shoulders to do the handstands, you're probably not just going to want to stand straight in a handstand all the time. So you'll want some of that mobility, but you got to build the strength first. That's where an exercise like this comes in handy. All right, 15 more seconds. Let me try to catch my breath here, and we'll jump in for another round. And breathe. Point your toes in this drill too. It'll help with your balance later. So, lost my balance there, but it's all good. It's really tough to make it through all 5 minutes of being up there. But again, it's just a drill to help you get better, and that's why I'm doing it. What I'm not trying to do, I actually forgot to mention this the other day in the other video. What I'm not trying to do is perfect a movement, then come here and show you a video, and then show you how I did it, giving you the false expectation that you can have it as quickly and as nice as mine. Shout out to the channels that do that. If they do, more power to them. But I'm all about growth and the journey. So you're gonna see me succeed at some things, you're gonna see me fail at others, but I'm good with that. Another thing of note, you can do this exercise kicking up against the wall or with your belly facing towards the wall. Either way, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. I personally like an open door frame because you get more of a sense of being in open space while you're on your hands, and that helps because you don't feel like there's a whole wall there when you're going to kick up and you're practicing for balance. So at least in my mind, it makes it more easy to be spatially aware and to go up into the handstand without feeling like you're just going through a wall. And also, when you're up against the wall, you tend to lean a little bit more. Your form, at least for me, isn't usually as good. So I like going with the open door frame because it helps me with the mechanics better. So you may have seen a little bit of a pause when I went up into that one. That's what I'm talking about, the spatial awareness of what your body needs to do. And that was a little example of it there. And even coming back down when I was off the wall a little bit, sometimes you're gonna lose your balance because there's really two factors to the handstand. First is the strength you're gonna need in your shoulders, and obviously your wrists to really just support your body weight upside down. But the other one is gonna be control, because a lot of people can pop up and just be up on their hands, no problem. And their legs might be walking, they might be walking all over the place. But when it comes to actually controlling that, and I'll try to show an example of that in another video. This is just for building in the strength, but I'll give you a little preview. When it comes to controlling the handstand, it all comes from your fingertips, all right? You wanna keep the toes straight because it lends to keeping your entire body straight, which makes your body easier to manipulate through your fingertips. So we'll come back to that concept a little bit later and in a future video. But for now, 35 seconds. I'm trying to get some water real quick. Be right back. All right, round 4, just like that. Here we go. And while I'm thinking about it, you may hear that big old bang of my ankles on this door frame. You definitely want to avoid that. The idea is you go up soft because when you start going up without a wall and you're just trying to practice for handstands, you don't want to send your feet all the way over your head because you're going to end up on your back the whole time instead of actually being able to practice your handstand. So practice slow and controlled going up, as soft as touch as possible when you get up there. Whew. I'm not gonna lie, for all that yapping, that wasn't bad. Hit about 48, 49 seconds on there. One more set. I'm really trying to cool out this one. So I got the air to give it a good run. Obviously doing these, you're gonna get more progressively tired each rep that you do. But at least in your mind, try to outdo the last rep that you did. I got a minute on the first one. So you wanna try to get a minute on the second one. If you only get 30 seconds, try to get 31 the next time in the third set, and so on. Keep trying to outdo yourself. And don't get discouraged if you're able to hit the first one really good, and the next ones you're only doing like half the time or even less. That's natural. Your first one, you're gonna have the most energy to do it. Don't get discouraged if you get down to the 5th one and you're only doing like 10 seconds. It's okay. It's about repetition and consistency, not about getting it all in one shot. So keep that in mind. That's a principle you can use for any of your workouts, but especially with handstands because they take a long time to train. When I start showing you what I'm doing for the planche, you're going to see where this patience comes into play because short version of that story is I've been working that move for maybe a year and a half now, and I haven't seen much progress at all. So patience is the key though. I know it'll come eventually, I just gotta stick with it. All right, 10 seconds, here we go. Come on. Ah. So close. 2 seconds away from doing better than I did the last time, but it's all good. It's how it goes sometimes. But anyways, hope you enjoyed that. Not really gonna call it a tutorial. It's kind of a progress report, and if you want to work out along with it, feel free to by all means. I would stay and hang out a little bit more, but I got a good class. So like, subscribe, leave a comment, talk about your progress, and this is the Buff Missionary. I'll see you in the next one.